Daily thought. Being vulnerable. We have to learn that sometimes we have to be vulnerable to our mates. We have to trust to show our all and give our all. Be vulnerable to our mates. Now, let me say this because some of y'all might be like, oh, no, 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 I ain't doing that. Listen, if you got a gut feeling that you can't be vulnerable to your mate, then don't be vulnerable to your mate. And you know who you are and you know how you feel. But understand this, being vulnerable to your mate goes a long way because that shows that you give trust in them and that in return they can be vulnerable to you. You don't know how many people may be sitting right now wishing to be vulnerable to you, but you have such a hard exterior on that they're afraid to do anything because they're afraid they're going to hear something that they don't like or you're going to bash them or something like that. Or, sometimes it's okay to get rid of the hard casing on the outside. Maybe it's easier said than done. But, I look at things and I say, if we're vulnerable to our mates, we may be surprised what the outcome is and what we get back. So today, I want you to think about that. I want you to think about being vulnerable to your mate. Now, if you notice, I keep saying mate, because you can't be vulnerable to everybody. You can't walk around like that all the time. But be vulnerable to your mate. And allow your mate to be vulnerable to you. And ladies, if your mate's vulnerable to you, and he steps down and he cries. He's not weak. He's a man. He's a true man. He's showing emotions and feelings. So don't look at that as weakness. Look at again, like I said in my other videos, look at that count yourself as a blessing that he opened up to you. Daily thought. Be vulnerable for your mate.